Today I will be reacting to Rafael Nadal's watch collection. Now I'm a huge fan of tennis, and if you are too, or if you're not, you may or may not be aware that Rafael Nadal has retired from tennis. So I thought now would be the perfect opportunity to take a look at his watch collection. Just one thing to point out, Rafael Nadal is an ambassador for Richard Mille, so expect to see this watch collection stacked of RM models. How cool must that be to actually be a Richard Mille ambassador? I mean, that's quite a statement itself. So let's kick things off with the RM3503 Baby Nadal. Oh, that is also one thing to point out, that a lot of these models feature his name after the reference number, because the majority of the Richard Mille watches he wears are specifically made for him. So yeah, kicking things off with the RM3503. Now the RM35 collection had taken inspiration from the RM027 collection. However, the RM3503 is a time watch only, whereas the RM027 features a tourbillon movement. Now for those who don't know what a tourbillon movement is, I think I'll explain it now, considering a lot of the watches in his collection feature a tourbillon movement. The tourbillon is a complicated movement invented at the end of the 18th century by Abraham Louis Breguet. Tourbillon movements create more regular ticks, improving the reliability and accuracy of telling time. All the moving watch components are placed into a rotating cage that move continuously on its own axis, like what you visually see on AP tourbillon models. Now what this does is reduce the stress of the ticking pieces that would be in a vertical position. Now despite the RM3503 lacking the tourbillon movement, this model still includes all of the qualities that align with a Richard Mille. The lightweight carbon case with its very familiar and well-known case and skeletonized dial. A really nice cool looking watch to open up Nadal's collection. On to the next watch then, and this is a beautiful piece. This watch is another RM3503. I prefer this variant. I think the baby blue colour is beautiful. Several celebrities have been spotted wearing this watch, like sportsman Charles Leclerc and Marcus Rashford, and music artist DJ Khaled. Also, one thing to point out, this RM3503 has an attachment to Nadal's name, so I don't think I mentioned before, but this is the RM3503 Rafael Nadal, which is going to be quite a constant theme throughout this video, meaning this watch has a higher demand and is currently fetching prices on the grey market for around £1 million. The next watch, we have the RM1103 in rose gold. Just quickly, look at the size of his forearms. Puts my tiny wrist to even more shame. I think people actually forget how good Rafael Nadal was, part of the greatest tennis era. It is truly a shame to see him go. But back to the watches. Now as you can see, there are some subdials indicating that this is a chronograph, but it is an advanced chronograph movement known as a flyback chronograph. Now this is an advanced chronograph movement that enables the rapid restarting of the timer function whilst the chronograph is still running, whereas with a regular or normal chronograph movement you have to stop the timer, then reset it and start it again. Although of course no one uses the chronograph, this is still a very advanced and complex movement. A very cool watch, love the rose gold and black combination. Now moving on to the all black RM027 tourbillon Rafael Nadal. In 2010, RM marked its debut into the tennis world with the unveiling of this new RM027. And as you can see, they gave the watch to Rafael Nadal when collecting his trophy. Also in 2010, it is important to note out that this was when Rafael Nadal became a Richard Mille ambassador. So this essentially showcased this collaboration to the world. This RM027 weighed just under 20 grams, which held the record as the lightest watch ever made at the time. The record has been taken since by the Ming LW01. Before I get into the next watch in Rafael Nadal's collection, if you guys could subscribe to the channel and like this video, that would be massively appreciated. Also remember to comment down below what you think of this watch collection. Let's get back to Rafael Nadal's watch collection. Now we're going to see a lot of RM27 models. In fact, the remainder of his collection are all RM27 models, starting with the RM2701 tourbillon Rafael Nadal. This model was released in 2013 to set a new global record for the lightest mechanical watch ever made. Just to prove how innovative RM actually are, they were breaking their own records at this time. This model broke the previous record with a weight of 18.83 grams. Now moving on to a very nice watch again, the RM2702 tourbillon Rafael Nadal. This model was launched 2 years later in 2015. This model was limited to 50 pieces. Richard Mille used carbon TPT because it is an extremely lightweight material. As I previously said, Richard Mille are extremely innovative. So what they fitted with carbon TPT, created the watch's first ever unibody skeletonized base plate. So the case band and base plate merged into one component, which was influenced by a race car's frame structure, boosting the watch's strength and shock resistance, which is ideal for tennis. You can actually see Rafael Nadal rocking this model whilst playing. Honestly, that is so cool. Being able to wear a Richard Mille playing the sport you love. It also matches the racket, I think, which is even cooler. So up next we have another RM27. This is the RM2703. Another 2 years later in 2017, Nadal was spotted in this picture with this model. Of course, the striking feature about this watch is the colour yellow and red. Quite simply paying tribute to Rafa Nadal's roots. For those who don't know and might be living under a rock, Rafa Nadal is Spanish, so the yellow and red reflect the Spanish flag. Another special part is the tourbillon movement. It had been enhanced to handle rougher treatment. This model was able to withstand a G-force of 10,000. Limited to just 50 pieces, this watch has also been spotted on Ed Sheeran. I believe this is the penultimate watch. This is the RM2704 Tourbillon Rafael Nadal, and this is my personal favourite out of his watch collection. Now, as I mentioned, Rafael Nadal became an ambassador of Richard Mille in 2010, and of course, since then, many watches have been produced with Rafa Nadal's name included. This model was again a limited edition with only 50 pieces available to the world to celebrate the decade anniversary of Richard Mille and Rafael Nadal's partnership. I love the combination of the brown and cream/white strap. It's a very subtle reflection to the Spanish flag and colours, making it special for Nadal. Fitted with a case made from titanium and carbon, combining strength and lightness, two elements to Rafa's game. And another touching part about this piece is the steel cable on the dial, which resembles a tennis racket. This might be one of the greatest anniversary models to celebrate a partnership between an ambassador and brand. They really went all out for Nadal, and I completely love it. I think it is definitely my favourite in his collection. Now moving on to the final model, the RM2705. This model is all black, however he seems to be wearing it with a white strap. This is a manual winding flyback tourbillon model, weighing 11.5 grams, withstanding a G-force of 14,000 Gs. A two-fold record for the model, the lightest and most resilient mechanical tourbillon. Now that Nadal has retired, I'm almost certain that Richard Mille will create a retirement piece for the tennis icon. That is Rafa Nadal's amazing, insane and sentimental watch collection. Definitely one of the best in the world. But as always, let us know in the comments section what you think about this watch collection. And also let us know whose watch collection we should take a look at next time. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video, as your support is always massively appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.